So very nice to see you all here, all my children. Your love outbeats me. And I really find no words to express my feelings. The way you have taken to Sahaj Yoga and the way you have established yourself in Sahaj Yoga. I know it is very difficult to spread Sahaj Yoga. Everywhere it is difficult. Because, you know, these are the times of Kali Yuga. I am not tired of the journey so much. The evil forces around us. When I came to Canberra, I felt the left Swadhisthana very strong, so strong that I could not walk a few steps. And I asked them, what's the matter? And they told me that TM, there's some Timmoy fellow, they are very strong here. Apart from that, there are other spiritualist courses which they are announcing in the newspapers. That human beings take to these horrible things so easily and try to work it out. When you study the reason why they take to these horrible things, then you realize one thing, that these things promise quick results. Like supposing somebody's son has been lost. So they will say, all right, you come to our group, we'll find it out for you. Or else somebody says, I'm under a great strain. All right, you come to a group, we'll remove your strains. It's very easy to remove the strains by putting a entity, what we call the bhoot, into someone, so that the bhoot takes over for the time being. But Here the seeker is not a deep person. Those who were deep people came back from all these horrible people. With the TM, I can tell you, we have been able to salvage some people, not all of them. When first it was brought to my notice, I had a meeting in England, and we had from TM at least 100 people, out of which we can say about 10 or 12 people we have been able to salvage. But the growth, spiritual growth in them was very slow. And they were just frightened of me. They would not look at me, they had awe about me. Whenever they saw me, they used to shake. There's one fellow, Chinese, who came from TM. And I think Rustam was there. And he just took my name and he jumped under a table and landed himself outside in the lawn. And they started looking at him, whereas he disappeared like that. This Chinese fellow, we tried with him, but he used to shriek and horrible he was, poor thing. Then he left Sahasrara in a way. And somebody met him, he was working in a restaurant or in a book shop. And somebody met him there and he asked him, how do you feel? How do you feel about mother? He said, oh, she's a tremendous power. That's all. So, you see, they are so weak, they are so gone down. It's very difficult to bring them to normal conditions. Within 2-3 years, they become recluses. They are even afraid of what you call garlic. If you show them the garlic, they start shaking. If you show them the lemon, they start shaking. They become recluses. We get few people from there, TM, but their roots are so strong that they will not stick on to us much. Even if they come for a short time, again they go back. So this is the situation with these TM people. And with this Chinmay fellow, I had an encounter in America. And there the people they came and told me that why this Chinmay is here and why doesn't your husband tell the Secretary General about it. And you know who was the Secretary General that time, Waldheim, and all the rest of it. And they were all crazy people. How Waldheim is now being treated by people, he is not allowed to go to America and all that. Actually his luck was not so bad, but these booths, you see, they made him so funny that he just could not come back to his normal self. Now this gentleman was not so much into this Chinmay, but there was one South Indian gentleman who was in the UN, and he said that this Chinmay is very good. This Chinmay used to play tennis, used to swim, used to drink, have women. He was a real Yankee, you see. And despite that, people said, oh, he's great, because he knows how to speak well. So all those speech-loving people got to. That's another style of people who are not seekers, but who just want somebody to talk, and talk. He could talk on Gita, he could talk on this, he could talk on every kind of thing. Now the big difference is, in Sahaja Yoga you have to accept me. There you don't have to accept anyone. As long as you accept Gita, as long as you accept Bible, as long as you accept something who is not there, who is dead, who is finished. So these people are interested only in your money. So they don't worry about these people, these old, we should say prophets who are dead now, or we can say the incarnations who are dead. They have nothing to do, just they describe them, take the money, that's what they want. They only want to have money, money, money and money. They are not interested in your welfare or anything. They have no idea of Kundalini. They cannot raise your Kundalini. They cannot give you realization. They cannot look after you. Nothing of the kind. Only thing what they want, whatever money you have, they should have it. And the way they do it is a very camouflage sort of a drama they play, that they can deliver the goods. What are the goods they are going to deliver to you? Except self-realization. Even the people who talked of self-realization never gave self-realization to anyone. I have seen this Yogananda's disciples, the early ones, they had to cut their tongue, because according to him, in his own Kriya Yoga, you had to put back your tongue here for khichdi. And that's why they had to cut their tongues. They cannot speak, they cannot do anything. They are just like dogs, you see, wagging their tails. Very good people. They are doctors, architects, very good people. All these things have happened to all these great seekers, I should say. But they were stupid to accept anyone like that. First of all, you must see what are others are doing. Others, say, disciples are doing. How are they? Majority of them. In Sahaja Yoga also, we might get somebody, a very useless person, and we might get somebody, a very low grade or a very low caliber personality. We do get, on the periphery, we do get. But they should see other people who are seriously involved with Sahaja Yoga, how they are behaving. What is their way of doing it, and how their life is. What have they achieved? What powers have they achieved? And what kind of a life they lead. That is how you should judge the person to whom they have to go. I am sorry that this Canberra is so full of left Swadhisthana, and if you allow these things to continue, I don't know what will happen to your government. It will all go to dogs if this stupid thing is allowed to work out, because all the boots will jump on all the civil servants and serious things can happen. I am quite surprised how it is allowed in Australia, where is the land of Sri Ganesh. As it is, I am here now, I am sure something will happen and they will give up that. But as far as coming to Sahaja Yoga, I would say it's a headache. You better give yourselves a bandhan before touching them anywhere near, because they'll give you a lot of trouble. I've had lots of trouble with them, so much so we had to leave one of our ashrams. See, we had 3 persons in that ashram from TM, and they used to scream so much, and this jumping about was so much that the neighbors told us that you better get out from here, and because of them we had to get out. All kinds of funny things they do. First time I saw these TM people were in a hall, and they took the first chairs, you see, first row, they're sitting there. As soon as I started speaking, they all started jumping like Jack in the Box. I said, what's the matter? It's perfectly all right. What's the matter? Who are these people? I'd never seen such a thing before. I was quite surprised that who are these people jumping like this, one by one. You see? Then I asked them, they said, we do TM and we are doing Siddha course. I said, Siddha course? Stupid people you are, that's what you are. And out of these 6 or 7 people who are jumping, we could only save about, I should say, 2 or 3. So those people who have gone to that, you shouldn't worry so much about them. But of course, if it has gone to the government, it's better to beat the government with shoes and give bandhan to the government so that they don't get entangled with it. But it's a serious thing, and I have to work it out myself on those lines, because I was quite shocked that in Canberra they have such bad vibrations. I came to Canberra much before with my husband, and I told him that the vibrations here are very, very bad. So he said, all the capital cities are like that. I said, but this seems to be rather funny that both the centers are catching so badly. And I couldn't walk that time also. And today also same thing happened to me. Now we have many other people who are seeking God. They live in the villages. These people have not gone to the villages because they wanted only rich people, moneyed people. So there are many people in the villages who haven't yet received their self-realization, and they can receive their self-realization without any difficulties. You can go there and talk to them and get them realized. Because they are not people for whom these Rakshasas are waiting. We have to give them realization. Once you give realization to people in the villages, things will change, the atmosphere will change, and you will find lots of people coming to Sahaja. So I would say I'm very happy that in Sydney itself you have so many centers, and in other cities you have so many centers. But now we have to reach the villagers and see them. They are innocent, simple people living in the villages in a very simple manner, and it's better to give them proper attention, because they are the ones who will get realization. Then the children should be attended to. They can be very nicely brought to Sahaj, and because there may be many of them who are already born realized. So the children can be brought into Sahaja, but not without the permission of their parents, because the laws and regulations are such that we may land up in the prison without asking the permission of the father or mother. So one has to be very careful. Another are the adolescent boys and girls who are studying in the colleges and who are not yet exposed so much to all these bad things. They might be drug addicts a little bit, or maybe other addiction they might be having, but they are not yet crushed by these horrible evil forces. So you can just attend to them. You can also advertise that you can look after people who are addicted to all these drugs and all that. You can relieve them. If you are allowed to do that, you can advertise, get those people, and if you give them realization, they might be able to get over their addiction completely. There's a Dr. Wells in London, who has now become a very big doctor in charge of a hospital of addiction. So I said, what do you do to them? How do you manage this addiction business? He said, you see, in their absence I beat them with shoes, that's all. And they are all getting rid of their addiction. So you can attend to those boys who are now grown-up boys and are taking to drugs and things like that. They are seekers, that's why they are going to these things. I think this kind of an attitude, if you have, that you are not going to attend to people who are already with some gurus and with something and encounter them, but attend to people who by their innocence have fallen into some problems, or to the innocent people in the villages or children who are innocent. I am sure you can prosper much faster. So Sahaja Yoga is growing very much faster here, and in a way, in a city, it is growing. But we can grow them much faster, I think, the way there are people, so many people are in the villages and in the countryside, in a very simple way they live. As for myself, to come to Australia is such an excitement and such a joy, because last year I could not come, and this year when they said it was the Sahasrara Puja, I have to perform here and be there, I was very happy. Tomorrow we have to have that puja. I was also a person, in a way you can say, a seeker, because I was trying to find out a method, a way by which I could really give a mass realization. I could give realization to many people at the same time. And for that I was really working very, very hard, understanding lots of people, human beings, and out of them I found bureaucrats at the worst. As you have lots of bureaucrats in this Canberra, maybe, that they are not so good, because you see, they have to compromise all the time. They have to say yes sir, and despite their resistance, despite their not liking to say that, they are, poor things, pushed into a job where they have to work it out because after all, job is important. When all these things become important, the person's personality suffers a lot. And that's what I found, that the bureaucrats who are seeking all the time power go after a man who can give them some more power, in the sense, the power not of the divine, but over the people, that they can dominate more people and they can manage more people. And that's why these people fall into these groups, because in the beginning they feel relaxed in a way and they dominate many people, as there are bhoots sitting with them who give them ideas. But then they get tired of them and then they fall sick. So many people commit suicide also. Suicide, I was told that suicide is maximum, suicide cases are maximum in Canada. The reason is this only, that you don't know what to do with yourself. You suffer from some sort of a miserable disease. You don't know how to get out of it, and then you commit suicide. So all these things are connected with the attack of the evil forces, and these evil forces attack you in a very subtle manner. So one should be careful as to mature. One has to mature inside, so that nothing can affect them, nothing can trouble them, nothing can bother them. One has to mature. The maturity should be such as like mine. If I catch it, I deliberately catch it, and then I try to solve the problem. But if you cannot do that, then you should not catch also, because you will suffer a little bit by catching them. Now for tomorrow's puja, I hope you will all be ready and you will all enjoy tomorrow's puja. I had a very nice puja in Pune, which I had to perform on the 30th, because it's a date called Akshaya Tritiya, means undestructible third day of the moon. That's actually nobody knew, but it's the puja of the Kundalini itself. And that day everybody felt very, very clear, very clear. The puja was hardly for about half an hour, real puja of the Kundalini, but everybody felt extremely clear and beautiful. So that sort of puja we should do also tomorrow if possible, so that we have the feelings of the Sahasrara completely opened out. Because even if Sahasrara is opened, the rest of the chakras, if they are caught up, then you have problems. It's better to clear out all the chakras and then the Sahasrara. So tomorrow we'll do the puja in that fashion, and I hope it will work out very well for all of you. I hope I have been rather late today for all of you, and I'm not taking too much of your time. Tomorrow, I think it should be, you see, actually you'll be surprised. This is the time I opened Sahasrara in India. This is exactly the time. Because just now it's 6:30 there, 6:35. And about 6:30 I opened Sahasrara. So you can imagine, this is the time I opened the Sahasrara there, and this is the time we are sitting on the other side of the world and celebrating that day, that great day of Sahasrara being opened out. It's a very great day in the history of spirituality. Very great day for the whole world. They will realize one day what it was, such a great time that Sahasrara could be opened for masses. Not only that, but you are empowered to do that great work. May God bless you. All right, now what's the program is?
Should you rest a bit?
What?
We've got some Indian dancing.
We do it here?
Yes.
What? How do you? Now I am, you see, up, because now 6:30 I get up there, I'm quite up at 6:30 in India. But you must be all sleeping. Tomorrow we are going to have the puja, Sahasrara puja. We start about 11 o'clock, as we say. And I hope we'll be all very much in a receptive mood and do this great job. Because I think tomorrow is very significant. Very, very significant to have this puja here. And it's a big responsibility on Australians to understand. Not easy to understand, sir. Very difficult. To understand me is even worse. Because you know I am Mahamaya. Recently a photograph has come where my 8 hands are showing. I'm just holding some flowers and there are 8 hands. If somebody says, Mother, what is this? I don't know. Now there's another nice photograph that has come. A person who was a Shiva Bhakta. And he had put my photograph with other photographs. And when he took the photograph, a complete linga, you see, of that shape, like an ice, was there on my feet. Meaning the photograph's photograph it took. So that's what it is. All are suggestions to you, because I think I cannot say about myself. So the suggestions are coming to you by so many means, by so many methods. So many miracles are taking place for you to see. Like when we were building this house, there was no water available. So the neighbor offered his well and said, you can take water from this, but it will only work out for 1 or 2 sucking, the water that is sucked out. It's only once or twice you can do it. I said, all right, doesn't matter. So they washed my feet and put the water into that well. And the whole house we built with that water, the whole house. Then another miracle took place with water was that a gentleman made a bore. He didn't understand anything about water. I told that there won't be any water in this place. 350 feet he went down. You know, there's a drought in Maharashtra. And there was no water, not a single drop. Then they again washed my feet and put the water. Now the water has arrived at 30 feet deep. Like that, many miracles have taken place all throughout. And you can't explain, you can't say. Said that if you can understand God, then He's not God anymore. Actually, it took me some time to say something about myself. Very hard. Also, I'm worried that your ego should not stand up immediately when I say something about myself. That why this lady, why not me? Yes, there were questions like that. So I told the gentleman, all right, I'm very happy, I'll retire, I'll be very happy, you come and sit in my chair and deliver the goods. So tomorrow I'm going to tell you something which you have to take with a very receptive mind. Something very special. But you have to have a very receptive mind. If you are very conditioned or your ego is there, it may be difficult. But truth has to be told sometime. And if truth is not accepted, it will express itself, but it will destroy many things. So best thing is to accept the truth as it is, accept it, put it in your heart. It's a fact. You all have known so many miracles yourself. I'm not telling you something new. But still I better prepare you for that. So tonight, before sleeping, you must pray that you should be able to accept the great truth that I'm going to tell tomorrow. May God bless you. And it's the Australians who are going to receive it first. They have a special temperament, I think, of innocence. And I'm sure it will then go around the whole world. So may God bless you.